There is a heavy Big Ten influence on this weekend's NCAA softball regionals. As you can see with a look at our big board, 8 different Big Ten schools will open regional play coming up on Friday, including the highest ranked of those Big Ten teams, UCLA, which opens up at home against UC Santa Barbara. And we welcome in UCLA slugger Jordan Woolery as today's big interview. Jordan, first and foremost, thanks for being with us. And I understand just a few moments ago we learned that you are one of 10 finalists for USA Softball's Player of the Year honor. What does that mean to you?
It's super awesome. I found out just literally 2 minutes ago, too, so I'm super grateful. It's such a really awesome list to be on, and I'm grateful to be surrounded by so many awesome players, too.
I know we won't know the winner for a little while, and you have games to play beforehand, including the regional this weekend. You open against UCSB. What's the vibe right now surrounding this team as you head into the NCAAs?
Yeah, just good vibes, honestly. We're really excited to play and get out there. This is our first week off we've had since we started the season without any midweeks, so we're grateful for the rest and excited to get after it on Friday.
Came off a pretty good run in the program's first ever trip to the Big Ten tournament as a member of this conference, made it all the way to the championship game. What was that run like for you guys?
Yeah, it was super cool. Of course, we wanted to kind of close it out at the end on Saturday, but I think we kind of left our mark on the Big Ten in this first season, and we're excited to take that momentum we had into the regional this weekend, too.
I want to look back, Jordan, on a couple of those games specifically. Starting the quarterfinals, one of the best games of the entire tournament against Indiana. You head into the 7th, and I know the game is tied, but you guys had to feel so comfortable with you and Megan, the heart of that lineup, coming up, and you started off that game-winning rally with the single to get everything going in the bottom of the inning. Do you recall what you were thinking and what your approach was as you took the plate for that specific at-bat?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't too worried because Megan's behind me. I feel like it makes my job really easy, like a lot less pressure on me. So just focusing on being in the moment and knowing Megan's going to have my back no matter what, I feel really grateful to have her behind me. So in those moments, I don't feel too much pressure because of Megan right there.
Yeah, and I know when I spoke with Megan a couple of weeks ago, I learned how close that you guys are. You share that Splash Bros moniker as big Golden State Warrior fans of Steph Curry and all the guys who have done such great work with the Warriors. What is that relationship like between you and Megan, and how much do you really feed off each other?
Yeah, it's super special. I mean, before I go up to bat, each time I look at Megan and say, I got you, and we like hit our bats together. So I think it's just like this unspoken, but also kind of spoken to, like, bond that we have each other no matter what. And even off the field, too, we're super close. So I feel like our relationship has just flourished, especially this year, too. Obviously,
those relationships are super important, as is your relationship with your coach. And, of course, your head coach is one of the greatest players, one of the greatest coaches in the history of this sport. So how do you kind of measure the influence of Coach I on you, on everybody on this team, and really on this entire program?
Yeah, I mean, she's been here literally forever, and her and Coach Lisa have really held it down in the last, like, 30 years, I think, honestly, them being here. So we're just really grateful to have 2 such strong coaches, and I feel like especially Coach Lisa this year, too. She's had a lot of influence on the offense. Coach I's more in the bullpen now, but I think we're just really grateful to have them and have our backs all year long.
All right, so let's go back now to the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament, because in that game, now you and Savannah Pola combined for 5 hits, but it was actually the bottom of the lineup. You had Bragg and Mujica each going deep with huge home runs off Jordy Ball, who had just recently been named the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year. I think it speaks to the depth of your lineup. How much confidence do you guys have 1 through 9 that no matter who is at the dish and no matter who's in the circle, that you guys can get it done?
Yeah, I think it's really awesome to see the freshmen come through in such big moments like that. I feel like they've been prepared for it all year long, and I think it's just a great opportunity for them to just show who they are and, like, finally let the world know who they are. I feel like the last few games have been kind of reliant on them too, honestly. So it's really cool to see them come through and have some outcome. It was awesome.
All right, as I mentioned at the start of the interview, you open NCAA regional play, and you are the host. You have UCSB, Santa Barbara, on tap for Friday night. What's the early scouting report? Obviously, a lot of Big Ten fans that watch you don't know much about UCSB's program. What can you tell us?
Yeah, just going to be always a good game per usual. I think regionals brings out the best in everyone, so it's going to be a good game, and everyone come out to Easton for sure this Friday.
Now, you also have San Diego State and Arizona State in that quadrant. So for you guys to get where you want to be, at least to be playing next weekend in the Supers, what has to happen?
Yeah, just play Bruins softball. I think not worrying too much about the opponent. Obviously, we have a scouting report going and focusing on the pitchers when what they throw this weekend, but just playing UCLA softball and just being our best when our best is needed.
How do you take the pressure off yourself when you're in a situation like this? You're at home, you're the favorites, everybody is expecting you to move on to the Supers next weekend, but you don't want to put that kind of pressure on yourself. So how do you avoid doing exactly that?
Yeah, just worrying about one game at a time, one inning at a time, one pitch at a time. Honestly, I feel like that's where we're at our best. We're not looking too far forward, but just being where our feet are.
All right, Jordan, I want to know who's the loudest talker? Who's the person in your locker room or in your pregame huddle? Who gets you guys fired up and ready to go in big moments like you'll have this weekend?
I think Coach Lisa, honestly, and then like within the team, I would say probably Lefty or Tins. They kind of get us going. Tins, our pitcher, she's so fired up all the time, and I think she brings such a great energy, and she just gets us going when we need it.
All right, well, let's finish there because I wanted to talk about that pitching staff as well. Most teams have one, maybe two aces that they can really rely on inside the circle. You guys have three pitchers who would be considered the aces on most teams. How dangerous does that make you from a pitching standpoint? And how much does it help you guys as hitters to face them as often as you do during practice?
Yeah, I think we have the hardest challenge of facing them during the middle of the week when we have to hit off them. I think it makes us so much better as hitters. And also, I think it's really hard for other teams to kind of get used to a flow. We have two really good up pitchers. Then we have Fish, who's throwing a down ball, and KT, obviously lefty, too. So I think they all bring such different looks, and it's kind of hard to get a flow going off them.
A remarkably well-rounded team. That's why UCLA and Jordan Woolery have a chance for a 50th win of the season this weekend against UCSB. Certainly hoping it won't be their last. Got to win 3 this weekend to get to Supers. That is the next step on their journey. Jordan, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Good luck to you and the team this coming weekend during NCAA Regionals.
Thank you. I appreciate it.